Hello friends, this video on nuclei part 12 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 11 before going ahead with part 12. So what do I mean by half-life of a radioactive sample? It means time at which the number of nuclei reduces to one half of their initial values. That means, let us suppose you start with say n naught number of nuclei at time t is equal to 0. So at t is equal to 0, you have n naught number of nuclei. So now with passage of time, this number will keep decreasing. So after how much time this number will become n naught by 2? That time is known as the half-life of this nucleus. So it is denoted by T half. The subscript half denotes half-life. Now it is basically a measure of how long a radioactive nuclei lasts. Because let us suppose you have two different samples. One sample has a half-life of 1 year. The second sample has a half-life of 2 years. That means the first sample will become half of its initial value in just 1 year. The second sample will become half of its initial value in 2 years. What does this depict? This depicts that the first sample will not last for a longer time because in just 1 year it became half, right? So again in another half year maybe it will no more be there. So the other sample, it will become half in 2 years. So basically by looking at the half year, we can get an idea of how long that radionuclei can last, right? So now let us try to derive an expression for half-life of a radioactive sample. Now we know that from the law of radioactive decay, n is equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. So initially number of sample is n naught. Now in order to determine half-life, later what would be the number of samples? It should be n naught by 2. So we can write n is equal to n naught by 2 here. So n naught by 2 is equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. So n naught and n naught will get cancelled. So from this we can write e to the power minus lambda t. This t is nothing but t half, right? So t half is equal to 1 by 2. So from this we can say minus lambda t half is equal to ln 1 by 2, because if you remove this exponent, if you take log on both sides, so you get this. So now minus lambda t half is equal to ln 1 minus ln 2. Now ln 1 is equal to 0. So from this we can say lambda t half is equal to ln 2. So from this we can say t half is equal to ln 2. Natural log of 2 is equal to 0.693. This divided by lambda. So this is the expression for half-life of a radioactive sample. So the half-life of a radioactive sample depends upon the decay constant. Now let us talk about the mean life of a radioactive sample. So half-life was the time after which the sample reduces to half of its initial value. Similarly, mean life is nothing but the average life of a nuclei in the radioactive sample. That means at an average, what would be the lifespan of that radioactive sample, right? Now in this case, any sample which you have, there will be so many nuclei inside that sample. So every nuclei has an opportunity to decay. Any nuclei can decay and any nuclei can decay at any point of time, right? So how do I calculate the average life of the entire radioactive sample as a whole? Okay, so let us have a look at this. Let us suppose that n naught is the number of radioactive sample at time t is equal to 0. Now from the law of radioactive decay, we can say that dn by dt is equal to minus lambda n, right? Therefore, the number of nuclei which decay between time period t and t plus dt will be, what is the number of nuclei that will decay between this time dn, that means these many number of nuclei will decay in time dt, right? Okay, so therefore number of nuclei which decay between t and t plus dt, because in dt these many nuclei will decay. So between time t and t plus dt, how many nuclei will decay? That is lambda n dt, right? Now so these many nuclei will decay between these time period, between t and t plus dt. But now life of some of these will be less, whereas for some of these it will be more. For example, let us suppose if I tell you that there are, say I take an example of something. Let us take example of human beings. Okay, so if I say that number of human beings who die between 2013 to 2020 is 100. I say that 100 people die between 2013 to 2020. But we don't know how many people exactly die at each year, because some of them might live more, some of them might live less, right? So it depends. We don't know exactly who will live till what time. So similar is the case here. So here you have, this is the total number of nuclei which will decay between t and t plus dt. But which nuclei will live for a longer time, which nuclei will live for a lesser time, that we are not sure. So we will have to calculate an average life of this nuclei. So how do we do that? So let us follow this approach. So this way I calculated the number of nuclei which will decay between this time period. Now let us try to calculate the sum of the lives of all these nuclei. So what would be the sum of the lives of all these nuclei? If we assume that the life of each nuclei is, say, t. So this will be lambda n dt into t. So this will be the sum of lives of all these nuclei. Therefore, if we integrate this value from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to infinity, so that would become the sum of all lives of all the nuclei which constitute the radioactive sample. So using that, we will be able to calculate the average life of the sample. So let me denote the average life as T average. So this will be equal to integration of T lambda n dt from 0 to infinity. Since I am calculating average, so this has to be divided by the total number of sample. So what was my total number of sample? It was n naught, right? So now we will integrate this. So now let us integrate this. So this becomes lambda into integration of T n dt from 0 to infinity divided by n naught. Now from the exponential law of radioactive decay, we know that n is equal to n naught e to the power minus lambda t. So we put this value in this expression. So what do we get? We get T average is equal to lambda divided by n naught integration of T n naught e to the power minus lambda t dt. So this n naught again being a constant, we can take it out. So this becomes lambda n naught divided by n naught integration of t e to the power minus lambda t dt. So this n naught and n naught will get cancelled. So we get T average is equal to lambda into integration of t e to the power minus lambda t dt. So we are integrating it over t is equal to 0 to 2 is equal to infinity. So now we will be using the product rule of integration in order to solve this integration, which you are already aware from your mathematics classes. So the product rule says that integration of fx gx dx will be equal to fx integration of gx dx minus integration of gx dx into f dash x dx. So this is the product rule of integration. In order to know further details about it, you can refer to the mathematics video of class 12th. So now this will become equal to lambda t into integration of e to the power minus lambda t dt minus integration e to the power minus lambda t dt into f dash x, that is d by dt of t. So dt by dt would be 1. So this becomes 1 into dt. So this will become equal to t into integration of e to the power minus lambda t. This will be equal to e to the power minus lambda t divided by minus lambda. So the limits are 0 to infinity minus integration of e to the power minus lambda t by minus lambda into dt from 0 to infinity. So this will be equal to lambda into t. Now the value of t will be infinity. So e to the power infinity is 0. So anything multiplied by 0 would be 0. Similarly, when you put t is equal to 0, you again get 0. So the first term will be 0. Now for the next term, integration of e to the power minus lambda t dt divided by minus lambda. So this becomes e to the power minus lambda t divided by lambda square from 0 to infinity. So this becomes lambda by lambda square. E to the power infinity will again be 0 minus e to the power 0 would be 1. So this will be minus 1. So this lambda and this lambda will cancel out. So you get this as 1 by lambda. So what do we get? We see that the average life of a radioactive sample comes out to be 1 by lambda. So one interesting thing which we observe, that both the half-life and average life, they are both dependent on the decay constant for a radioactive decay. So from these two relations, we can derive a relationship between average life and half-life. So T average is 1 by lambda. And what was T half? T half-life was 0.693 by lambda. Right. So using these two expressions, what can we say? So from these two expressions, we can say that T average is equal to, we can write 1 by lambda as 0.693 divided by T half, right? So we can write it as T average is equal to T half divided by 0.693. So this is the relationship between average life and half-life of a radioactive sample. So basically this half-life and average life, they give us an idea about how long or the lifespan of a radioactive nuclide. So normally the radioactive substances which have a very small half-life are generally not seen as such in nature. For example, plutonium is one such radioactive substance. It has such a short half-life that it decays very quickly. So it is not very easily available in nature.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.